Howdy, it is I, Junk, back again early here in the wee small hours of Christmas 2023. Merry Christmas to you and yours, and if you don't celebrate Christmas, well, happy belated Hanukkah, happy pre-Kwanzaa, I guess, Kwanzaa Eve, festive Saturnalia for those following the old religion, and I'm sure there's a bunch I'm forgetting. But whatever you celebrate, the important thing is I hope you and your family are healthy, your dogs and cats are healthy. And with you today, even though you're watching this, yeah, I recorded this whole thing once and forgot to I recorded the sound but not the video. And so if you'll bear with me, I've got a cough drop in my coffee because I'm going again now. And quick look at the hanger here. Notice the new Eiffel is here. And these are the pilot skills I've been using. I like it so far. I haven't had major downsides to it. I like the defense expert and the wonder worker and the mechanic. I mean, the survivability is pretty good because Eiffel can be pretty squishy. The other way to build this out would be to go with like the tough guy type skills and go for a maximum durability, but so far, I've had okay luck with the regeneration and defense. So, that kind of relates to one of the things I wanted to talk about, and some of these are things you've heard before, and some are not, and kind of weirdly specific. But I wanted to talk first about the economics of the game. I know this is everyone's favorite topic. And the Ultimate Editions and leaderboards. And originally you got Ultimate Editions by the Ultimate Luck game here, which is completely clown shoes and no one should play. Although having opened it up, should we spin one just to do it because we're here? Yeah, let's live a little. I'm not mad at that. I still need mute components. I'm not even mad at that. Because like I don't know what I was doing when mute was in the loot boxes, but I didn't actually max it. So that doesn't give me a lot of I gotta hold 2 button pushes out of that, but all right. 2 is 2, Anyway, you used to get them through the Ultimate Luck, and then they changed that to these tasks. And the tasks were often then related to acquiring things on the leaderboards. So I would start hoarding all of my data pads, because you would things like this open purple data pad silver to move up. So I would hoard data pads, as I'm hoarding the blue now, until there was a leaderboard event, and then open them to advance that leaderboard to get the ultimate weapon, to get the ultimate robot. That's great. But there were some problems there too. One problem is that you would have leaderboards where the task would be like, level a robot. Well, I don't know if you know this about me, but I've kind of leveled the robots. So the only way for me to have a robot worth leveling, really, is to go acquire a new robot. So I have to open the data pads to get to the point. I mean, these are all from the black market crates when that was the leaderboard, right? I will say that if I go all the way to the back, I did count earlier today. I've got 5 more boas I could level and 3 more golems. And God knows how many shoots ever since, because shoots were on the ultimate leaderboard, the ultimate luck event too. All of that is to say, they've now complicated this further with the bonus task, with the magic keyboard here, reach leaderboard milestones. So I can't even let tasks go if I don't want them. I have to try to get the milestones to get the ultimate halo. All of this put together, the basic thing I want to point out here, number one, it costs twice as much to stay on top of the game's offerings as it did last year. Like, if you want to eat the whole elephant, if you want every new thing, it costs twice as much. And I'm going to say something that may be unpopular, and I have to say for anybody who has never heard this before, because you're new here, I'm not a content partner, I'm not in the content creator program, Pixonic doesn't give me anything but heartburn, but I do kind of wonder, is it actually good for the average player? Is it possibly good for the average player to make the financial high end of the game more unattainable? Because it'll reduce the number of people who have everything, and it'll force people who are in that, upper middle class of the spenders, let's say, force them to pick one thing and go for it. There have been times when I've considered, wait, am I better off chasing the new meta or chasing the ultimate Fenrir? Of course it's the ultimate Fenrir. And making decisions designed to maximize my ability to get that Fenrir rather than maximize my ability to survive in the current meta. And maybe that's good. Maybe it's good to have people who are surfing the meta and people who are like trying to get the rare and exotic stuff rather than the newest, hottest, most dangerous stuff. I don't know, something to think about. I mean, it's certainly not good for players writ large to fleece them, but I do wonder if breaking the back of there just being like a unified ruling class, right, of the people who have everything, isn't maybe good. Okay, semi-related to this, I'm going to beat a drum I've beaten for a lot of times. Champion League needs to be split up. I set a new kill record in the second of these games. And I don't think we have to be mysterious here. We're all friends. 21 kills, which is a record for me. I know for, like, if you're in Burn, that's just Wednesday. But for me, 21 kills is a lot. And there are people on here who are going to be salty about it. And they're gonna accuse me of, like, dropping League. I assure you, I have never dropped League intentionally. I did once a while back when I was trying not to use, I guess, the Kepri, I think maybe was the meta. Forget what it was. And that, I was like, okay, we're done with that. So no, I'm playing in Champion League, and I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't have the authority over the matchmaking system. If they put people against me who are not equally equipped, I don't have the ability to fix that. But I don't think this game was an example of that. I think there were plenty of meta bots I went up against in that game. Plenty of everything. So if everybody in that game was a champion, or in Champion League, quote unquote, however you want to characterize that, then isn't that more evidence that the Champion League needs to be split up? The point I've made before about it is that Champion League starts at 5,000 cups. You will see people in Champion League every so often who have 20,000 cups. So there's people who have more than doubled up on all the leagues that came before. And if there's that big of a differentiation window of success, let's not call it skill, let's not call it anything. Let's just say success, okay? If there are people who are more than twice as successful as what it requires to be a champion, then doesn't there need to be a league to separate those people out? Whether you want to start at 10,000, 8,000, 12,000, I don't know. So then the question is, why doesn't Pixonic split up Champion League? And there's 3 reasons I can think of. One is that's the monetization model, to have people hit 5,000 and get wrecked so that they feel like they have to spend money. So like they're intentionally doing this in order to force people to spend money. 2 might be it feeds the monetization model because they want the top spenders to feel like they bought something, even if that means the games are less competitive. And if you force the people with 20,000 cups to play the people with 20,000 cups, they won't feel like there's any reason to spend money. And then number 3 is what I think is the most likely thing, just plain incompetence. Like, what about the rest of this game suggests to you that the developers have any idea what it's like to play it? I don't think the developers play the game. If they do play the game, they don't play in Champion League based on their performances the times we've seen them. And why would they fix a league they don't know how to play in? So just a thought there. And now if you'll indulge me in a little bit of a left turn. I want to talk about the completionist and picking a charity. And, this isn't financial advice. Don't, I'm not going to even tell you what charities to donate to. I have ones that I like. I've worked in many of them. And I donate every month. Another comment I get is sometimes like, why don't you donate this money to charity instead of Pixonic? I donate to charity every single month and work in charity every single day. So I have thoughts about this. If you haven't been following it, the really short version of what's going on is there's a YouTuber called The Completionist. And for 10 years, he was fundraising for a charity where he told people all of the donations were going to specific places for dementia research. During that time period, none of the donations went to those places, but some of the donations went to cover expenses for running the event to raise the money that would then not disperse the money. As we get to the end of the year, a lot of people like to give to charity because it makes some sense for tax reasons. And it is my fervent hope that each and every one of you, at least the ones who aren't cats or dogs, gets to the point in life where you have to pick charities because you have money you want to give to help people or to support causes you believe in. But how do you do that? Well, the really simple explanation I can give you is there's a website called Charity Navigator. Go to Charity Navigator. You can type in causes you're interested in, and it'll show you charities with various star ratings, and the star ratings are related primarily to their financial disclosures. Pick a couple 4-star charities, and then look a little bit deeper, and there's 2 things I usually look at. You can look at whatever you think is important to you, but for me, I look at 2 things under the financial metrics: the program expense ratio and the fundraising efficiency ratio. The program expense ratio is, in essence, how much of the money that they're spending is going to the cause that they're organized for. And broadly speaking, over 65% in my experience I think is good. Over 75% is excellent, and anything over 80% is astonishingly good. And there's an asterisk to this, which is to say it is generally correlated with size. The bigger an organization is, the more efficiently it can run. So if your cause only has 2 people working for it at this moment, much more of your expenses are going to be to overhead, to administration. The bigger it is, the more likely it can be efficient. So this isn't to say don't give to smaller charities or don't give to charities that don't have as much efficiency, but be aware that if you give $1 to a place with a 50% program expense ratio, only half your dollar is going to that cause, and you may believe in the other half going to build that organization. That's totally fine. Just be aware that's what it's doing. That's program expense ratio. Fundraising efficiency ratio is how much does the organization spend to raise $1? Or to look at it another more cynical way, how much of every dollar you give it is it going to spend on asking you for money? Now, the fundraising efficiency ratio you really have to look at next to other nonprofits in the same space, because it's just harder to raise money for some causes than others. Some causes are disputed and some causes aren't, for the most part, right? Like, if you run a charity designed to inspire blood donation, there aren't tons of people advocating against donating blood. I mean, there are some, I'm sure, but for the most part, people want to help. Whereas if you have like a civil rights nonprofit or you want to be involved in a civil rights nonprofit, want to donate to an issue where it's highly contested and highly political, whether you believe in, whichever side of that issue you believe in, there's people actually advocating the opposite of what you're trying to fundraise for, which is fine. I firmly believe you should be involved in advocating for the things you believe in, no matter what they are. I completely believe in that. But just, I guess what I'm saying is be aware that fundraising efficiency needs to be measured against other people in the same space. Because, yeah, it is, you can be a lot more efficient than you can asking them to donate to either side of a hotly contested political issue. So yeah, just charity navigator, financial metrics, program expense ratio, fundraising efficiency ratio. That to me is telling you the most important things you need to know about how the money might be spent. And if you want to give to charities that don't disclose their financials like Open Hand, I mean, by all means, you can. Just be aware that you're giving money away based on like, trust me, bro. Which, do you actually trust him, bro? There's your basic question. I'm not saying don't. I'm saying that's what it is. You're donating based on someone's reputation. And I'm a big believer in that saying of trust everyone but cut the cards. So, with that little detour out of the way, let's get into some gameplay. 2 games to show you. The first one is on the Trashplant, where I can't figure out why things are so hard. And the second one is in Shenzhen, where I get to hit a new kill record of 21 kills. So, let's get into it. Oh, goody, we're here on the Trashplant. Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Well, I'm happy to be here with you. I'm not happy to be in the Trashplant. Dropping in the Hellburner with the Ultimate Glory, Ultimate Halo, and that's the new Pascal drone. Oliver Song pilot for the Hellburner gives you 100 defense points while you're in your ability. The Pascal gives you 100 defense points temporarily at 70%, 50%, and 30% durability. The first time in your bot, this means that I'm getting a lot of damage resistance on this robot. So after capping home, run towards Beacon B, we call it the hallway for obvious reasons. I see I'm not getting chased by anyone, but my teammate on Beacon A got taken out. There's 2 bots down there. And I figure I've got to go contest it. I am somewhat relieved when I see one of them runs up, and it's another with Magnetar. Another, Hellburner is a very good matchup for that. You will chew through it since it's been nerfed so many times. The Demeter tries to come and help it, can't do the job, locks me in place for a moment, and tries to get into cover, but I am much, much faster than a Demeter. So I'm chasing it down with my scatter shotguns, trying to grind it to its last stand. I see the Ophion there circling in the distance. Have to remember he's out there. And now I'm just trying to get a couple clean shots in, get inside the shield with some clean shots. And I'm getting close, my explosion takes him out almost all the way, and he teleports. Oh, of course he does. Teleports to that Ophion I saw before. They're fighting something back there on our team that's going to get taken out quickly. Scorpion drops in here on Beacon A with me. So I split the difference in the broken ship. Ophion on the right, Demeter on the left. Ophion's got to go first, it's more dangerous. Ophion pilots think they're good. And then the Demeter goes double kill and triple kill, easy, coming back through the ship, and hey, nobody here, let's go check out enemy home. The speed on this Hellburner makes it a great first drop and a great last drop if you need early beacon running or late beacon running. It will win most of the things you're going to run into, like most of those trades. So, I managed to get to the home, and something shoots me in the back, takes out a chunk of my health, and it is an Eiffel with a whole lot of Fulgur and Tonans. I'm surprised it doesn't take me out entirely. Meanwhile, my explosion takes out that Ophion. I don't know where it was hiding, but it chose the wrong place to hide. I figure I'm not here for a long time. I may as well have a good time. So I just charge at the Eiffel, because what are you going to do? The Eiffel's going to win this matchup. So I just thought, let's just see what we can do. Running towards it. A little bit of self-healing, but I don't think there's any question how this matchup ends. But hey, you want to play Fulgur, Tonans, Eiffel? I can play that game. Take out his shield, take him down very far. He managed to dash behind a ship, but you know I fly, right? And there goes the Titan Slayer. I've had this Titan for about 2-3 days maxed, I guess. I had it for longer, but you don't like to run it until it's kind of maxed. The interesting things to me about this particular build that I put together is I got the Defense Expert primary and secondary, so I get 50 defense points in either ability, and Wonder Worker on primary being the flying up in the air. I managed to take that luchador down most of the way as he jumps towards me. Meanwhile, on the right, a Ravana sees what's going on and decides to help his Titany teammate and runs towards me. I'm kind of ignoring it. There's the Titan Slayer on the luchador, and now I'm focusing on this Ravana who is very elusive. It's like I thought I had something going there and missed him. He's getting in way better shots on me than I'm getting on him, so I guess good Ravana play there. I want to believe I could take him out, but no, and I could just get frustrated and I say, you know what, I don't have to do this. Fly up in the air, put some damage on that Ocho, but it was the wrong time apparently, still in his ability. It is so hard to see that ability. Also, philosophically, there are times when you ought to shoot an Ocho anyway in its ability, which we'll talk about another time because we've got other stuff to talk about now. Eiffel here, we get to the hallway again. I can't understand why we keep losing beacons so quickly. At least it feels that way. I see. Got some targets over here. This should be an easy win, and yet he survives the first hit. Was that a hybrid Seraph? I saw the fell. I don't know what the other thing was. And what drops in but a Rook and a Fafnir? Okay, sure, maybe. Rook pushes me around a little bit, but fly up in the air, and from that angle, I can just shoot down through its plates. Like, I don't actually have to take them off, which makes that a good matchup for me. There is... How... Yeah, their Ocho is there. I'm surprised. What I'm struggling with here is their Ocho is alive, but he didn't take Beacon A, and why would you not? Ah, oh goody. The Revenant here to harass me, make my life more difficult. And I'm thinking, how are we getting 4-capped on this? Like, I feel like I'm doing the most. I don't understand why this is so hard. And why can't I take this Revenant out? I mean, I knew that you were hardy back in the day, but this is getting kind of ridiculous. I'm about to lose my Titan here. Trying to dance with this one Revenant. Fly up. How... The Fafnir's still alive. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what is going on here? Like, do I have teammates? What are the teammates doing? It looks like it's 4-on-3. They've got a big beacon bar lead and a beacon lead. And I just lost my Titan. Okay. At times like this, fun time is over, and it's time to bring out the Ocho and make some things go boom. I am not a fan of the phasing on the Ocho to me. I understand it. I understand why you would do it. You know, that gives you more options when you're out of your ability. The problem I have is that you have cover for when you're out of your ability. Why would you give up the ability to heal? I just don't think it's a good enough trade-off for me. So now it looks like they're starting to mech 2-on-4 while they still have a beacon bar lead. Now 4-on-3. There's some good Vulgar Atonan's lightning there. Gonna take out the hallway. Oh, it's an Ophion again. It's like the definition of not actually good. And it's got nothing to do with... It's not trying to even shade the players who use it. It's just this thing of like... It's a bugged robot that if it weren't bugged, would be annoying. But it is bugged. Give him a little head shake there. It's like, no, this isn't gonna work. You're already dead. You just don't know it yet. See? Running back. And now we're getting close to the 5-cap. So here I'm looking to change, like, should I drop in somewhere to protect a beacon in case one of these guys is in the back? And I just end up closing the window because, no, they're all right here. I don't have to drop in anywhere to protect anything. This is where I need to be. It is good in situations like that where you have a close game and there's a risk that someone could flip it by flipping a beacon in Beacon Rush. Check those beacons, man. See if you need to be somewhere. And if you need to be somewhere, it doesn't matter how much health your bot has, you ditch it. So we got the victory here in the Trashplant. And pretty soon it becomes clear, oh, that's why this was so hard. Yeah. 8.1 million, 2 assists, 10 kills, 7 beacons, and we were down a player. And that's when it clicked in my head, oh, that's why, like, no matter how hard I tried, it was still really tough to keep beacons, because we were down a player and everybody in their team was getting beacons, obviously some more than others. Still, I'm not complaining. 10 kills, 7 caps, I've had worse games, but I've also had better games, and let's get into Shenzhen to see one of those better games right now. Okay, we are here on Shenzhen, and hopefully I can think of something useful to say, because things are going to be happening very quickly as I recall it. Dropping in on the Leech. The Leech and the Hellburn are both great ways to start because they're both very fast robots. I start drifting to Beacon B here on the right. I see 2 red nameplates are following me. Not disturbed by that. Leech is great in a 2-on-1. You link one of them with Repulse, focus fire the other. Either they don't shoot you or they take out one of the 2 of them for you. And we've got what looks like a shotgun Typhon easily taken down to where the dots will finish him off from the Deceiver. Fenrir comes around the corner, and usually this is a great matchup. Fenrir manages to march towards me as the Typhon goes down from the dots. The second Fenrir comes by and starts shooting me at range. A Skyros comes in, my Leech goes down, and I look at the map and I am salty already. And I'm salty because I see I had 4 reds at the time coming at me and no teammates. At this point, I drop in the Eliochikochi with the Ultimate Igniter and Blaze, and I say, fine, I'll do it myself. Actually, what I said in real life. Seraph goes down to the flames. A Zeus Crisis, which, mad respect for the build, but the Zeus Crisis goes down to the flames. And we have another Typhon. As I flip the beacon, Typhon goes into hiding, as it probably should, and something shoots me in the back, and I think, wow, I'm faced with an exceptionally brave or exceptionally dumb enemy here. The Punchers, they slightly tickle. And we go after the Behemoth for the triple kill. When we started this game, we had about 833,000 health, so remember 833, we're up to 935 now. Fafnir drops in, but I'm running past the Fafnir to get that Typhon who got away before for the Rampage. While that shield is up, I'm gonna kinda come behind the building, but I'm not really gonna hide. And I'm just gonna walk. I don't want to use my ability till I get everybody in that circle. Get the assist on the Fafnir. Fenrir getting shot in the back here. And what do we have here? It looks like... was that a Spectre? With 2 Ultimate Orkans? So, anyway, we have melee Fenrir. Not sure if it's one that jumped at me before, but I hope it is, because I'd like to get a little revenge. Teammate comes in, and I get the Beyond Godlike. At this point, I'm like, oh, I want the Living Legend. And how helpful. We get the Spectre to give me the Living Legend. And I'm going to head over to Beacon B again, because I want that beacon still. I also see that we are still losing a lot of beacons. Over to Beacon B, I see the Skyros, and in drops the Hawk. Hawk goes up, and I lose track of it, go into my ability to sort of push him away. Flip the beacon, Skyros is still hanging out. Toast up the Skyros, but as you'll see, I lost my kill streak. I don't love that. I want my kill streak back. Fortunately, it's not the last kill streak we see in this game. Making sure my flamethrowers are empty so they reload as I head into mid. Some real squishy robots here. There's that Hawk who flew away from me for the double kill. I don't know where the invader went, but I've got my own problems. In comes Noodles with a weird hybrid there. I guess ran out of bubbles. Noodles goes down. He's getting shot from the side there, friendly Heimdall. I run in towards the Rook. Rook jumps over my head to go to mid. I run past the Rook. Take out the Flying Dragon there for the Rampage. This is a great matchup for me. Flames go through shields, and Rook is just nothing but shields with legs. So, this is great for me. Meanwhile, I see also I've got the Sonic Fenrir who's staggering his shots. Somebody's been watching too much Manny videos. Don't believe everything you see in a Manny video. Rook slams back into me, which I thought, that's just a weird choice. And falls over for the Titan Slayer. Fenrir slowly marching towards me. And get him down to his last stand. He gets me down to my last stand, down to 559. I get the Beyond Godlike on the Fenrir. It's deja vu all over again. And oh, the Ophion, as I always say, what offends me about the Ophion is the people who use it think they're any good. It may be bugged, but that hitbox can't hide from the flames, and there's my second living legend. Let's see, we're down 3 beacons to 2, and looks like we have a little beacon bar advantage. Run into mid here, and we got, oh, it's the meta. It's the Dagon and the enemy Ocho. Dagon goes first. Now, I've been climbing. You notice my HP's been climbing up because I have the durability extender. Every time I hit it, it adds 15% of my durability back to my robot. It's not my total durability. You also see we've got a friendly mender who's helping me out here. But it's the durability I have at the time, but that still gets compounded pretty quickly. That is, I think, the 3rd living legend? I think. On this run, it's the 4th living legend total, but the 3rd living legend in this order. Don't get the kill on the Luchador, but I see I have another shot for my 3rd Titan Slayer. Aether is going to land. I go after the Aether. I'm paying no attention at all to the Lynx. Getting my teammates healing. The Lynx, however, is paying attention to me because it goes down for 4th living legend of this streak. And we have Aether going down for the 3rd Titan Slayer on this run. At this point, I remember thinking, I feel like I've taken out a lot of robots. I don't know how many, but a lot. Running towards the enemy home. Ophion goes up. That's okay. I'll go back for the Crimson Hawk. 5th living legend, I think. And see the Dagon here. He's gonna have to go down too. Living legend number 6, I think? No, I must be off. That must be number 7. Because I remember counting before, and I had a living legend past living legend, so 7 after 7. So I started in this bot with about 834,000 health. I'm ending with 974. I went up 140,000 health. That's the base health of a maxed Ares. And I still didn't know how many I had killed at this point. I felt like it was a lot. I felt fairly sure it was a lot. But then it turns out I set a new record for myself with 21 kills, 12.4 million damage, 8 beacons captured, and an assist for good measure. I guess shout out to the guy at the bottom of the leaderboard for leaving so much there for me to enjoy also, I guess. I wouldn't say that hard carries are necessarily possible in beacon modes, but to the extent that is possible, I'll go ahead and say this was a pretty hard carry. That's all right. I'll give myself the chiropractor appointment since everyone was on my back for that. What can I say? I get very upset if you take out my leech too early. If you've made it to this far in the video, thank you for watching this long. If you're a dog or cat at home alone on Christmas, that's really sad. Why is that so? But I'm sure you're a good puppy or kitty and you will get a delicious Christmas treat as soon as your parents are back. And I will talk to you all again very soon later.